Thank you for joining me. This is Joe from Joe's Transformer Toy Reviews. Today here we have Titan Returns Wave 2 Deluxe size Highbrow with Xort. Xort is the head, Highbrow is the body. I don't understand where they come up with the names. Xort does not make a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of X's used for the names somewhere in the heads recently. I don't know what they were thinking. But other ways, this figure actually was based off of the general design of Scourge from Wave 1. I like this one significantly more, although he has some significant things to consider as well. I will go over those. Primary colors here are obviously gray and blue. The blue here, the blue as it shows up on the camera is actually a little bit brighter and nicer than it is in person actually. The darker grays are about the same, but the blues actually shows up surprisingly well here. Kind of jealous that the video shows something better than I actually have in my hands right now. A little bit of red and tiny bits of yellow in the arms. Now, as you can see as I've been touching him, the head is wobbly. Now, I did get this fixed by taking the head off and rotating it around. This is caused by the cowling that was present in the Scourge figure. So I put the head in, rotate around so that both heads are facing forward. You move a little bit of posability, but the head doesn't wobble around nearly as much. So that's one way to fix it. I actually do agree that the head being secure does make it a little bit better. That's one of the major issues. However, again, because of the cowling, he doesn't really have an easy way to look around when you do it like this. Do like it better. Alright, now he has two guns. They are actually based off of real military type of weapons. They're, I believe, water-cooled machine guns. I don't really know the full name for these things, but they would be normally be like a belt-fed type of weapon. Large number of rounds per minute for suppression fire and so forth. He has two of them. They combine together, but don't really form a weapon that can be easily held by robot form. It doesn't really make much sense in the vehicle mode either. That's where the figure would fit in, would sit here and hold on here. And I can't really hold the wheels. You would have to have him hold it like this, vertically, which is really not what it was designed to look like. Or you have to rotate the arms to hold it side by side, and which does look awkward. Onto his back, this is where the cockpit is held. Oh wait. There we go. Let's try the head again. That does significantly make it easier to move his head. It is a little weak, but still much better than when it is in the package. So in storing the weapon on the back here, let's split this up. On the back of Highbrow here, the cockpit has two holes, one on each side, and you can place the gun there. One side of the gun on each side. I prefer just leaving the guns separate. I'd really prefer not to make a big deal of them combining. These propellers do get in the way, so keep that in mind, that the propellers do pose a bit of an issue and limit posability to a point. I never found that they got into the way to the point where it made a significant problem, but there could have been much better solutions. They could have folded up and it would have made a world of difference. His hands don't really pose in the proper way. They kind of flop around. They don't really flop around actually. They're not too stiff, but they don't just fall around too much. not a bad design. Some strange design decisions which could have been much better, but whatever. This is what we got, and I don't mind him. Not a lot of anything to really worry about if you're a parent of a child and you bought this for him. Nothing really has fallen off. The gun's easy to lose, but alternate ways to hold them in there. Alright, so let's move on to the transformation. Remove the head. Turn his head back around. Stuff like that bothers me sometimes if it's not done right. The head also actually has more painting than usual, which is sad that this is what more paint looks like right now. This visor's painted on both, a different color than the rest of it. Not a lot of paint at all, but better than nothing, which you normally see. Let's remove the guns now. Fists rotate in. Straighten the arms out. There are some significant leftovers of the original design of being from the Scourge figure, like that pulls out the waist, and you fold the legs in the same way. Now this part right here is a little tricky because there are some places where the legs latch in and you have to put a lot of force. Children would have problems with that. I'm not saying they might, they will. It's that much force. Then you put the arms in. It's about as much force as you'd imagine would break it. It doesn't though. You have to force it. There are two places that it connects, here and here. And you rotate down the cockpit. And from here, someone did mention this online on a review that I read. The best way to insert the guns, I find, and I agree with them, is what they said. This part right here, which they says to be the cartridge for the gun, insert into this hexagonal slot in the wings. I prefer having the handle in. Gives you 2 extra points for the landing gear. Here's the landing gear that folds out. It's got a nice little gun there. So you place it here, and you fold open the cockpit. I also find the cockpit is a nice little feature for the robot vehicle mode. It's nicely designed. It holds them in without too much trouble. Now, these propellers make no sense at all. They would run into each other and cause issues. But otherwise, I think the design is not bad at all. Mostly you see a lot of blue and grays here. The red translucency of the cockpit is noticeable here. No real dangers for children. It's not the best design overall. The propellers just don't make any sense in any form, any mode. The tail props also don't move. They just are off-center a little bit from each other. And that's mostly it. You can put the guns on the side. I don't like the way it looks because it looks well lopsided and the landing gear doesn't make any sense like that. And that's mostly it. So this was a Highbrow with Xort. The legs being so hard to push together does make a point that children may have a bit of an issue transforming it, and the wobbly head does contribute to a little bit of a warning for it. I believe that I do like the design. I just wish that they would have spent more time with making the head work better and not worrying with the 2 propellers. I don't know why they felt like that was a design that they had to go with. So basically, if you like the look of it, you might definitely want to consider it. That's it. So this was Joe from Joe's Transformer Toy Reviews. Please leave a question if you have one down below, or just a comment. Thank you for Thank you for joining me today. You have a good night.